Let's discuss the pros and cons of an online business degree. Number one, the pros is a flexibility. That's right, flexibility is one of the most important factors when considering an online business degree. Most of us have very busy and hectic schedules, and seeking an online degree has the potential to fit into those random moments of available time throughout the day. Quite often, virtual classrooms can be accessed at any point in the day, further increasing that flexibility. Second up is convenience. Without a question, an online business degree offers a significant amount of convenience. For example, commute times, when compared to more traditional academic learning, will be significantly reduced or possibly eliminated entirely. The student also has the opportunity to expand their academic options without regard to geographic constraints. The remote nature of an online business degree permits the student to attend programs throughout the country without having to move or relocate. Also, it creates effective discourse. An online format can foster effective and informative dialogue. Course discussions typically don't require simultaneous interactions between students. This can encourage an informed conversation as students have more time to think about, process, and articulate their responses. Instead of solely depending upon the knowledge of a professor, an effective online discussion has the potential to unlock the teaching qualities within every student. Essentially, the combination of professor based with student led discussion creates a number of teachers within an online business degree program. Also, there's really a nice amount of progress being made towards hybrid program development. As distance learning continues to gain momentum, many schools are refining their programs to include a degree of hybrid learning. These opportunities combine primary distance learning with occasional in person labs and training. These programs aim to combine a greater variety of learning opportunities in order to further prepare business students for their future careers. While considering programs, individuals seeking business degrees should take a moment to compare and contrast hybrid learning opportunities. If hybrid learning or in person labs and training are required for a portion of your online business degree, then physical proximity to the program becomes necessary. As online learning continues to grow, many programs are establishing satellite locations. These locations could provide opportunities for in person learning even when students live far away from the primary campus of the program. So essentially, these universities and programs are creating mini hubs as online learning grows. Obviously, the amount of students within these programs allows the programs themselves to create mini hubs where students from certain regions of the country can get together and learn from one another in more of a communal hybrid profile, which is such a great advancement. I hope that all schools start ending up going towards that because you get to benefit from the flexibility as well as the convenience of online learning and also get to feel that community spirit by learning alongside the people who could be your colleagues at some point. So, also cost now is something to consider as a pro. Without a doubt, rising education costs are huge burdens amongst the student population of today. Those same costs must be considered while seeking your online business degree. Just because a program is conducted remotely doesn't mean that it'll be any less expensive than traditional on campus learning. And the reason this occurs is because unfortunately there were quite a few remote learning programs that initially started online learning that operated on a for profit basis, and student costs under such circumstances can be unbearable. So essentially, these programs took advantage of the fact that they were offering flexibility and convenience to the students. That, of course, is enticing, but they also didn't pass along a cost savings that might have been saved by having a smaller footprint as far as brick and mortar buildings or allowing their professors and teachers to be more flexible in their own schedules, which then makes it more efficient to run a program. So That has definitely got to be taken into consideration. Fortunately, as the world continues to embrace online learning, there's a greater variety of programs being developed. Mainstream universities and are developing and refining their own remote programs, and they're also creating a significant amount of competition. This competition, of course, is driving down costs and offering a wider range of tuition than ever before. So, as you peruse online business programs, be certain to compare costs. Oftentimes, an online degree can be obtained with significant savings attached because it has created a more competitive environment for this learning opportunity. Let's discuss the cons, of course. So, the first con, which I think is the most important to consider, is self discipline. Do you have it? More exact, the freedom afforded online business degree students might not benefit everyone. In fact, online education requires a distinct individual capable of self discipline. The student has a significant amount of control over their learning experience, and that can be a blessing for those seeking flexibility or a burden for anyone struggling to organize their daily life. And unfortunately, many online learners already inherently have a hectic lifestyle. In fact, that's the reason why they've been seeking to implement an online learning program for their business degrees because they have a hectic lifestyle. So, prior to seeking online education, prospective students should conduct a self assessment of their lives. Do you have the discipline to succeed in an online learning environment? Only you know the answer to that question. Also, the program itself could be considered a con. Traditional learning experiences are a product of hundreds of years of trial and error. They've been refined to provide a high quality education. In contrast, online education is relatively new. Effective learning experiences are still being developed, and to get the most out of your online business degree, it's important to do your research. Experienced and engaging online instructors have the potential to dramatically influence your career trajectory. Unfortunately, effective distance instruction is still a work in progress for many programs. Next up is technology. Technology can be a limiting factor when participating in online business degree programs. Distance learning inherently depends upon access to the internet and the consistent use of a computer, laptop, and cell phone. These luxuries can be quite expensive and a significant burden upon the students. Furthermore, an impactful learning experience will depend upon the degree of technical literacy. So, progressive development of such skills are often a requirement for online education. Combining the cost of the technology that you'll need to access your online program, as well as the technical proficiency, can be a difficult thing to balance. Fortunately, many programs offer training courses already as one of the first courses you can do that will help you succeed technology wise in their program. Of course, we also have to deal with the online stigma of a business degree that's earned remotely. While online education is certainly gaining ground upon traditional education options, it is worth noting that a negative stigma still exists for such programs. Within the grand picture of education, online options have only been around for a minuscule amount of time. As such, it shouldn't be surprising that prospective employers might value an online business degree less than one obtained through in person campus based courses. Fortunately, an active transition of this mindset is gaining momentum every single day as more people participate in online education. So, hopefully, within a matter of a few years, the stigma will continue to decrease to the point where brick and mortar learning, as well as online learning, are both valued the same by companies, by human resources, by managers, and to the point where it won't matter. Obviously, online learning develops a certain strength, as does in person learning. So, these can balance out depending upon the needs of a business. So keep that in mind. And lastly, a big problem happens to be a lack of hands on experience. It should come as no surprise that the remote learning generally lacks an immersive hands on experience. Physically interactive learning has always been an important factor in processing, understanding, and memory building. While researching online business degree options, it's important for you to consider whether or not you learn best with extensive hands on experience, in person learning, or if you do learn best remotely. If you have that self discipline and it's the type of learning that you succeed in. If you can't succeed and if you have limitations, you do need to self assess whether or not these limitations will force you to fail. Um, will this limitation frustrate your learning experience so significantly that you will end up abandoning your dreams on an online business degree? If that happens prematurely, and if your answer is yes, then it's likely that your best interest might be to seek a more traditional learning experience. No matter what, whether or not these pros and cons help you figure out what you're doing with the rest of your life, I do hope the best for your future career choices.